You can't pick a guy who is nothing like what you want and then complain about the fact that he is nothing like what you want. I get, like, I couldn't be with Evan. So I'm not saying that the frustration isn't real, but I'm saying
Yeah.
that you have to take ownership of the fact that you chose him, because he wouldn't have made it through the wall with me personally.
Okay. Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Love is Blind, Season 9, Episode 10 and 11. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
And I'm Kamaria. I am an attorney and a pop culture writer. So let us get into these episodes. It was a lot of breakups. The men were leaving. It was a lot of arguing. It almost feels like, is any couple gonna make it? I don't know. But let's start with one of the two for sure breakups, which was Annie and Nick. Thoughts?
Child, I hate to say it. I said it last episode. I don't
Mm,
know exactly why the rest of the cast is saying like they don't really vibe with Nick,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
but 10 out of 10, he made the correct decision.
Oh yeah, he did.
Annie is living in a complete delusion.
Ah.
A complete delusion. I will say, love how Nick was like, I told you once, and I don't want to have to tell you again. Do not put words in my mouth. Now, why Nick, during that conversation they had after the party, did not say, you know what, you seem like you're a little drunk right now, so
Uh,
let's stop this conversation. I'm not sure why he allowed it to keep escalating as the person who was coherent.
mm.
But Annie, I'm like, girl, you going back and forth from you don't do enough to I just want you in this to I love you. I know you love
So
me. I
you
just
think she
want you.
was drunk in that conversation?
She better have been.
Look,
She
I'm
better
like,
have
but
been.
you know, it's so interesting. This the other day, I was thinking, so like on Annie and Nick. A lot of people have been saying, like, I don't know if I mentioned this last episode or if this is just a conversation you and I had, but a lot of people have been saying, oh, he's gay. Like that's what the people were saying, and you had said that before. Did I mention this last episode?
I don't know, child, but
But I was,
yeah.
it's so interesting. I was like, I literally just do not be seeing this stuff sometimes. I don't know. I was like, what in the world? Because that started going through my mind in all of this as well. Because I was like,
Yeah.
was this like he always knew he wasn't going to the altar because he doesn't, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But,
The man seems like he has very, very. It
mm,
seems like when it comes to his partner interactions, like
mm.
he wants it to be like what it is and nothing else, right? Like even with the whole thing with Kate,
What
for
does that mean? Before you
instance,
go into that, what do you mean by
just
that
like
it is?
what he says, whatever his perception of something is, like that
Mm-hmm.
is where he wants to stay in that reality. Like he ain't if he says the sky is blue, and if you say it's green, it's a red flag to him.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like
Okay.
and that it just takes me back to the conversation he had with Kate where he like
Uh-huh.
immediately blew up once he found out she was not of Christian faith or willing to take a religious journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he was like immediately like, no, you gotta get up out of there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so it's like the same thing is happening with Annie, but I think Annie is just she's very reactive. She does
Mm-hmm.
not think before she speaks. She's a little, not even a little. She's very impulsive, and she just says whatever. Like she gives me someone who is afraid of abandonment, and so they make these
Mm-hmm.
very frantic gestures to like pull
Yes.
somebody in, and she it seems like she thought Nick was gonna be that one to be like, okay, no, let me come and coddle you. And Nick is
Yes.
like, no, baby, we standing 10 toes down. What did you just say? You just said you feel like I don't love you. And you know what? This is we too deep in to be going back and forth about the basics. So I got to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. No, but to be honest though, I was with him with all of
Yeah.
this because I was like, if he don't like it, he don't like it. And she was kind of like, I was like, not her pleading with him to be like,
Not only pleading, but she doesn't apologize. She doesn't apologize with the mindset of like, okay, this is what I'm going to do to change and not show up this way in this
because
relationship. She's so like nonchalant with it.
I
Like
don't think she sees
even
it as a problem. That's
she
why I think
doesn't.
it's kind of like what with KB and Edmond. We'll get to them later, but like when he was like, "I'm not apologizing if I don't, if I don't see it as it's like she doesn't see it as a thing." But I think she's like willing to be like, "Let's just jump over it. Let's just jump over it." Like I'm willing to
Yeah.
stay committed, but I don't think she sees what he's saying as a problem. And he's one of those people in a relationship that's like, no, we got to fix it before we hop over it. And then he's also seems to be very firm that's like, no, we didn't fix it, and I'm not about to keep trying to force you to hop,
Yeah.
fix it while you keep trying to hop over it. So I'm gonna be out, and I like that because maybe because that's something that I lack. I'm not a very strong like. I mean, I am, but I'm like a like let's. I'll keep repeating it, and he
Yeah.
seems to be like I said what I
What
said.
I said, straight up.
And he's like, I'm out. When he said the thought of getting to the altar is like makes me feel like not happy. It's not a happy thought for me. I was like, oop. I was on a plane.
It don't get no clearer
I
than
was on
that.
a
It don't
plane
get no
watching that.
clearer
I was
than that.
like, no clearer. So, you
Yeah.
know.
No, and she I will say like she
No, go ahead. I just about to say something about Annie.
oh, go ahead. Because I was
Oh,
gonna get
okay.
on her back on her
When
too.
she was like comparing it to a business, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, maybe that's what in her mindset is. It's like, this is just a connection that we're going to use to move forward. And he's like, no, I care about what's inside of the connection. Because when she was like, it's like a business, it's like a home, purchasing a
Yes.
home or whatever. And it's like, no, it's not. It's literally like the foundation upon which all of the rest of that stuff sits. Like who you spend every day with. It's like literally you're bringing along another person.
Yes.
It's like having yourself and then having someone else. Like it's like
Yeah.
you're always with yourself. If you don't like yourself, that's going to be a problem. If you don't like the
Mhm.
partner that you're with, also a problem. And so that I was like all this convincing her, and he was like, "You can't make 1 + 1 = 3." She was like, "Watch me."
Watch me.
I
Yeah. And it
was
starts
like,
laughing. I'm like, this girl thinks it's a
"Yeah."
joke. Like, it's like she was giving, I don't think anybody would break up with me. It's like the stance she had with Brendan at the meetup in the last batch of episodes, where she
Oh,
was like, "Oh well, he said I was his number one, and da 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 da, and he's not
but
acting like it."
he's
It's
not.
like, girl, you are not the cream of the crop that you think you are, honey. You are an
Yeah.
individual who is going to be held accountable and responsible for your actions. It's like
Mm,
nobody has sat her down and say like, "No, when you do this, this is how it makes me
mm,
feel," and then she adjusts. It's just like, oh
mm,
well, it's even when they got back from the thing and their scene started off and she was like, "Oh, give me more kisses, give me more kisses." Were you not just being an ice queen to him at the
yeah, at the
rodeo?
party.
You
And
literally
she's
just turned your
your
back to this
back,
man,
yeah.
and now you're over here like, "Give me kisses," not addressing the elephant in the room, and then you go on this drunk rant. I think a
Mm,
drunk rant
mm,
about how you feel like you're not loved, chosen, and all of these things. And another thing that I appreciated that Nick said was like, "You're taking me through all of these extremes right now," because that's
mm.
exactly what it was. You're
I
up,
didn't even hear
you're
that part.
down. I can't see left or right with you, girl. Like, I don't know where you're at. It's just up and down,
Yeah,
up and down, up and
no.
down. And that's exhausting.
Yeah. I know. I'm like, not this whole episode, I was like, not the ladies got us out here really being on the man's side with this. And it's like, I don't want to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
want to be because I think I did feel her a little bit. The only part I was on her side about was he playing her? Like, was he wasting her time? Was this like because so many people, so many guys, gay guys, seems to be like, this man is gay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he did an apology on his own Instagram. I think I sent it to you. And
Yeah.
about like the conversation they had about his mom coming and asking if he was gay, yada, 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 yada. I was like, this is the first time I see possibly what other people see. Like he has interesting mannerisms. His mom, she was like my sensitive or deep soul or whatever. I don't necessarily think mannerisms make somebody's one way or the other. Like I think it's a sexual thing versus a mannerism sort of thing, because there are some men who I've met who are like were raised by church going mothers, and they do some things or say some things, but it's like no, I'm here for the draws, like, you know what I'm saying. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's very they could be faking too, I don't know. But I do know
Yeah.
that at the end of the day, like I agree with his reasons for leaving, and I think that's all she wrote either way.
He was. I was right down. He was going bar for bar. He was like, "How can you feel so deep for me at times, and at other times it feels so
So
shallow?"
shallow.
And she said something like, "I've molded my whole life around you," and it's like, "Girl, no, you have not. You met
I
this man three
know.
weeks ago. You have not
Right.
molded your whole life." But that's how I was like. She has like these very grandiose and extreme ways of trying to pull somebody back in after
Yeah.
you just rocked them all over the place. It's like, girl, you
Yeah.
cannot put me in a bottle, shake me up, and then
Yeah.
open me and expect it not to explode. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that. She was my least favorite person the whole time, so I guess it is what it is. But yeah.
yeah. Let's move into Joe and Madison, our other couple that broke up. The actual, as the title suggested, runaway groom. Let
Oh.
me tell you. Let me tell you. Joe.
Yeah.
When they met her family, and he started talking about how at the very last minute he called off his wedding
Hmm.
and said, "I thought just being miserable was just a thing." Madison's face looked like this was the first time she was ever hearing
I
that
was wondering that
information.
too. Yeah. I thought that
And I
same.
was sitting there like, Madison, this is evidence that this man is willing to leave you at the altar. So you might want
Yeah.
to dig into this a little bit deeper. And I
Yeah.
thought the family was gonna dig into it a little deeper, because if I
I know.
was at that table, what's different? What has changed? How do
Yeah.
you know that's not gonna happen here? What is it
Yeah.
about Madison that makes you so sure? And if you would have blundered
Yeah.
and stuttered over that answer,
I
baby,
know. Right.
this
And what
this
are you
one ain't
looking
it. This
for
one ain't
that you
it.
didn't see in the other woman? Like what
Yeah.
was it that made you realize that you were unsure? And when the mom was at the dress fitting and she was like, she has a strong ick factor and she does, I was like,
The
Ma,
Knicks ain't strong enough.
I
Ain't strong
know, because
enough.
I was like, I'm like, he is the most unsure guy in this cast, like,
Yes.
period. So
Yes.
it is what it is. But yeah, the sister had a lot of energy. But the sister was interesting because she was just like, maybe her and her husband was going through something at the time because she was very like, it's every day you're not sure, every day. And they were like, you just
Yeah.
choose each other. You have to, you think that this is the cliff. No, every cliff is a cliff. But I
Right.
think it's real. Like, I like when people talk about marriage very real because I have had a lot of people in my life talk to me about marriage in a very real way. And so many of them, especially the women, even in good marriages, those women have been like, I have contemplated divorce. It is
Yes.
difficult. Marriage is difficult. And he's a good man. It is
Yeah.
difficult. So I like when people are real. So I don't want to say like I don't know what's going on with their marriage, but she was like, they was like, it's an every cliff. There's a cliff
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then there's
yeah.
another cliff.
Yeah. It reminds me, I saw this video on TikTok the other day, and this black woman, a guy was like, I think it was a guy was like, is it like, why do people say marriage is so hard? And she stitched it or whatever and was like, it was a bowl of macaroni and cheese. I guess she had told him, like, don't eat it all, leave me some. And it was, I guess, like half full or mainly full. All of it was gone, but besides probably like 3 bites. And she was like, what is this? And he was like, you said not to eat it all. Like, it was literally like 3 bites of macaroni in that bowl. And she was like, this is what I mean by difficult. Like, when we say marriage is hard, like, this is it. I told this man to leave me some macaroni and cheese. And it reminded me of Garby. A man will leave you in the desert with no water.
Yeah, no. I mean,
But yeah,
like, girl, I can only imagine like have very long-term relationships in my 30s, and I know that the difficult part of being in these relationships has been like just getting used to someone else's idiosyncrasies and like
yeah,
you have to compromise. You can't do things the way you want to do it. It's just like period. That's like probably the most difficult thing about any relationship here is just you cannot do things exactly how you want to do them. You have to compromise. And imagine having to do that for your whole life. It's like, bruh, cut me a break. It's like you can't just have all the mac and cheese. You
right.
have to compromise. You gotta have
Yes.
some of it. You know what I'm saying? And then there's different levels of compromise. It's just there's a lot. There's a lot because obviously the guy who ate the mac and cheese, he ain't doing the level of compromising that he need to do to meet her
Right.
where she need him to be meeting her. Okay.
Right.
And it's like that with every single thing. You see people talk about toilet paper and
Yes.
toothpaste and like every little thing, like multiply across every life interaction. And it's like, that's
Yeah.
the hard part. And then don't get me started on like emotional intelligence
Yeah.
and things like
Mm-hmm.
that, it's like I can only imagine. I
Okay.
can only imagine.
Only
So,
imagine. But yeah, Joe and Madison, I'm like, child, Joe. I will say that one thing that I did not like about this episode that had me a little like stirred up, I was crying,
mm,
was like when they were having that conversation in the room and she's just like, what is it? Like, and it seemed like
mm,
she wasn't even thinking that it could be physical. She was like, our physical
yeah.
connection is great. We talk
Hmm.
like, you're okay with me being with somebody else. You're okay with somebody else having. She's bringing up all of these things and he's just like, I mean, I like those parts of us.
And she's, yeah,
And I'm just like, you can't even say it. And
tell
when that
her.
man went outside and said, "Oh, I feel relieved,"
Hmm.
crystal clear,
Yeah, yeah.
crystal
It's
clear.
they be afraid to say it. They're
Yeah,
afraid of the confrontation or the difficulty of just saying to someone like, "I'm not attracted to you," or "I'm not, that attracted to you," because it's always there's obviously something. But men can have sex with women that they're not that attracted to. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like they can, and that's why I felt like it wasn't cool for him to have sex with her. Like, you know what I'm saying? I said
yeah.
that in the first episode, I think I did. But I didn't think that was cool for him to have sex with her when you're not that attracted to her, because it's like if she knew that, would she have actually given you, you
Mm-hmm.
know, the punani? Like she might
Right.
not have. And so it just feels a little icky for me to,
Yeah,
to go and down that route. But it's like that's how, not to be bashing men, but if that's how men be in life. It's like, why you want to do all of these? You're not sure you want to do the big things, but you want
right.
to do the things that's going to give you that instant gratification sort of things. You're
Mm-hmm.
okay doing that, even though you're not sure about the further steps. It's like, that's all. It's like, we gotta, like, that's
Yeah.
why we gotta not be out here free fucking because
Yeah, okay. Free
it
fucking,
just
free cooking, free. You can come over, free anything. Okay,
free
free. I made your lunch,
anything,
baby. I free. I did your laundry.
girl.
Nothing. These men
Yeah.
get nothing, honey. Nothing. Cause why? Marriage is hard, and so when you get there,
Right, I
your ass gonna be
know.
tired anyways.
Yeah, it's like, child, just you need to know, like, because
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's interesting, but
Yeah, I will say though, that was the calmest I've ever seen Madison. I just knew she was
mm,
going to be like freaking out.
mm,
And she was starting to escalate because he was not giving her anything. But when
mm,
she was just like, "What is it?" and she was sitting there calm, just trying to
mm,
listen, I'm like,
mm. I
you done turned the girl who can't regulate herself into being this calm baby.
was,
You know, like she just over there bewildered. She was
yeah.
bewildered.
I was surprised that she came in and she hugged him like right before they had the conversation. She was like,
Yeah,
yeah. And it's like, to me, it's like I have a hard time being affectionate in any kind of way when I'm upset, you know? And I also, even at the end, when she was like, this has been the greatest. Thanks for going through this experience with me. Or she didn't say it was the greatest, but she said something like, thanked him for going through the experience with her. I mean, I guess everybody processes how they process, because
yeah,
maybe that is an element of forgiveness for her. But, I don't know, because I feel when I'm angry, it's hard for me to leave a situation angry. I do like to leave it on a calm note, because anger just, it doesn't make me feel good. It makes me stir and all those other different
yeah.
things. But it still felt a little too letting them off easy.
Yeah, 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 no.
um,
And that man said I would have been miserable. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, and when
That's
she kept
crazy.
asking him like, "What is it? What is it? You're not giving me a reason." I was like thinking to myself, "There's always a reason," and it's like if you got to keep digging and digging, the reason is it's just not you. Like it could have
Yeah,
not even been physical. You get what I'm saying? It could have
yeah,
been like, I just don't feel a personality. Like it doesn't. It don't feel right, because I've had those experiences where I'm just like, this is not my person. They're just not
right.
my person. And it's like everything about them is really great on paper. They may be great, but it's just like it's not there for me. And you just gotta let that go. You gotta
Yeah,
let that go.
strap.
Um, but do you think that what do you think has been going on in Joe's mind? Do you think he's really been trying to like move past it, or do you think like,
I think he's a coward.
ah,
I think he cowardly was like, I can't say it because it's like this is your second time doing this. You knew from the moment you saw her that you did not like her, and everything
yeah,
after that, besides you probably being physical with her, showed that you did not like her. And
yeah.
so to me, I'm like, you were being a coward. You knew at that table that it wasn't her when you met her family. You knew at the table when she met your family it wasn't her. Like,
A coward in what ways that like he was trying to like not say it. He was just biding his time when he always knew
Yeah.
he was gonna say it, and he was just
Hmm.
trying to not say it in the beginning so he won't come off like Casey. Like, oh, right
Yeah.
after seeing her, you know. Yeah, I mean, I wonder about that as well.
Because he's done it before. Like, you were in a 5-year relationship, you went through a proposal, you went through planning a wedding, and then decided on the day that y'all were sending out invitations, you know what, I actually don't want this and I've been miserable.
yeah, it's given like at
He's,
first I was thinking like when he said that before, I was thinking, and it's like it's reframes it for me, but I was thinking like, oh, he's been in a relationship, he's gotten to that point. It shows that he is commitment minded, right? But reframe, it literally could have been he was in this relationship with this woman and maybe she was like, when are we moving? When are we moving? When are we moving? And then
yeah,
he doesn't, and he finally is like, okay, we will. And then he pulls out at the last minute. I mean, that's not
yeah.
funny, but I'm saying like
Yeah,
that
no.
could have been what the
Yeah.
story was, that he was commitment forward. She had to drag him to the end and then he left even in that
Even if he
piece of
wasn't
it.
dragged, some people just go through this because they feel like it's the natural next step, and not even natural
Mm,
because it feels natural to them, but natural because
mm.
they feel like that's just the steps in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I know somebody who just bought a house because they're like, I guess that's what I'm supposed to do next, right? Like,
Mm,
not even necessarily like wanting a house. It's just they
mm,
weren't excited about it or anything. They
mm,
just, well, I guess, I mean, that's what I'm supposed to do, right? Like, I'm an
mm,
adult. Like,
mm,
it could have been that as well. So
No,
he might
that's
not even
real.
be necessarily commitment minded, just going with the
Yeah.
flow, thinking that's what he's supposed to do. Some people, they just going through the motions of life and just
Hmm.
one thing after the next.
Yeah. You want to talk about KB and Edmond now?
Yeah, KB and Edmond. I This is so hard for me because I'm just like, Edmond is not fit. Not saying that he
Yeah.
cannot be, but he is not fit to show up the way KB wants him to. And
Hmm.
KB is like, I understand that he's different, but at the same time, be a normal fucking human being. It's like,
Hmm.
girl, you can't have the
Have
expectations
both.
up here knowing he is down here. Like, his baseline is
Right.
literally down here. It's going to take him a while and a lot of redirection to get him even to here. He might not
Yeah.
ever get here.
Hmm.
Ever.
Yeah.
And
No,
you
I
are
agree.
signing up for this idea. Oh, I loved you because of this. I loved you because of that. But it's like, you have seen time and time again that this man does not have the capacity at this very moment
To be
to
what you
love you the
need.
way you want to be
Yeah.
loved. Not because he
Yeah.
doesn't want to love you. It
Yeah.
seems like he does really love you,
Yeah.
but how he is showing up is who he is. And I notice a
Yes.
lot of things that he says is just like repetition. And it just reminds me, okay, individuals who have autism, if he does have it, we don't know. But like, echolalia is a thing where you just repeat what the other person is telling you. You
Mm.
get things mixed up in your head because you do not have the social acumen to understand and process exactly what is going on. So you want him to
Mm.
apologize for things, and he's just like, well, I don't think I need to apologize. Like, he's off in his own world. He just want to have a good time. He don't want to talk to you right now. People with
Mm.
autism are also very direct sometimes. It's like, you want
Mm.
him to show up a certain way, and I don't think he
Mm.
has
The
the
capacity.
capabilities to do that.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like to me, like I don't. I'm. I hate to say this, but I'm not a huge fan of Calabria because I feel like she talks to him like a child, at the
Yeah.
same time trying to make him into something he's not. It's like you have the eyes that we all have, and we all
Yes.
see that this whatever limitations he may have in terms of emotional processing and things like that, you see that too. But you sitting here continuing to choose him, and each time trying to pull out the rabbit out the hat and turn it into a dove and like turn it into something it's not. It's like, and then you
Yeah.
want to fuss at him and get complaint. It feels like, I just feel like it feels like taking advantage of him. And I know a lot of people, somebody was saying like, oh my God, Edmund's a grown man. He can do it. But it's like, there are things such as someone having the capacity, like they may be physically grown, biologically grown, but they may have the emotional processing of a teenager, of a 7-year old, whatever stunted them in the past or whatever.
Yeah.
Or they just are having what other issues. Like he may have autism, he may have ADHD. You don't know. We don't know. The point is that there's something. There's something
Yeah,
that
and we
she
met his
sees.
mama. I didn't say this in the last episode, but we met his mama. When that lady started crying, she was tapping the table. Okay, baby, it's genetic. It is genetic. Whatever is possibly going on is possibly genetic. Like you see that they came from a
Yeah.
struggle. You
Yeah.
have had exposure as a social worker to a
Yeah.
lot of different types of backgrounds.
Yeah.
And even if that man don't have any type of diagnosis, right?
Yeah.
You know that he has gone through extreme trauma. You know,
Trauma.
as a social worker, because I think this is like the
Yeah.
basic of knowledge. When somebody is taken out of the home, put in another placement, taken out of the home, put in another placement, the development is stunted every
Mhm.
single time because
Mhm.
the kids can't adjust.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there is possibly something there if he was
Yeah.
continuously taken out of his home that he has not had the chance to experience and develop like other people who have been with their parents or their single parent, or
Yeah.
maybe they were taken out of their home only
And
one
it's just
time and they
not
ended up in a foster place
it's
with
not
a caring
comfortable.
person. It's
Yeah.
yes, yes.
It's
I'm
just
like,
like you
girl,
can't never relax and learn to trust your environment because you keep having to move. But anywho, the
yes.
one thing I did want to say about her though, that I was not a fan of, she's sitting there and she's crying about very valid things. Okay. I give
Definitely.
that. They're valid things. Like, yeah, I would want my man to help me do this. I want him to think about my comfort and whatever. She said something like that. Like, I would want it's like I'm not sitting here trying to say lower your standards. I'm
Yeah.
saying that you at the end of the day, it's like you pick an orange and you're like, but I want an apple. I want an apple and I want an apple I can crunch into. You see how I do that, Edmund? I crunch and you got an outer layer that's a peel and I gotta peel it and I can't. And then you got
Yeah.
slices. I gotta. It's like that's what he is, girl. You sitting here complaining about you want an apple and he is an orange, and it's like at that point you can be crying about valid things, but you literally chose him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You chose him, and so you can't cry about the things he's not doing. When you saw those things in the beginning, you saw the red flags, but you continue to proceed anyway. It's like, I'm not about to feel sorry for you. I'm personally
Yeah.
not, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's real. That's real. Because I was gonna say like, or even if you didn't see it in the beginning, you have had ample opportunity to see it, and you got to the point where you calling this man a bitch, and you talking about you about
Right.
to throw your ring over the mountain, and then you still want to dip your toe back in.
Yeah, I
You
know.
still want to dip your toe back in.
Right. After that one, I was like, I need y'all to break up. Like, I really do, because I
Yes,
don't think
yes,
this is healthy for you. I felt bad for Edmund. I'm like, you got me out here feeling bad for Edmund in the sense
yeah,
that, like, Edmund is, it's like, you blowing my high, girl. We out here on the
yes,
mountain. We watching y'all
yes.
on the mountain. Like, what? It's like I was with him in
Yes.
that moment because it's just like he's not a perfect guy, but it's just like, girl, you need to. It's like she just wants to go through with the experiment or whatever, and it's just like you gotta let it go when it ain't
Yeah,
going. You
yeah.
know?
And you can see him physically like shutting down when she's just going
Yes.
in. And he said, like,
Yes.
just say something nice.
I
You can tell me all the
know.
things, but just say something nice. That I said, y'all both exhausted. Edmund seemed like he's
Yeah.
exhausted. He's tired of being
Yeah.
told what to do when he just want to put
Yeah.
on his colorful socks, run around and get on the roller
I
skates.
know.
He just want to live. Like,
And she cuts him off all the time. She talks about
yeah,
him cutting her off, but I'm glad he mentioned that because
yeah.
she every episode I've noticed that like
Yeah, he be
she
having that
cuts him
little
off,
tick. He
and
be like,
then
I'm like, yes, you pissing him off, and he just can't express
I
himself.
know. And like going back to the beginning of the argument or whatever, when she was explaining, and he was like, I just said this and it looked like it was perfect, or it would be nice to hear that it was perfect. And I said it as a joke. I don't know whether he said it as a joke or not, but either way, it wasn't that serious. But when
Yeah.
she started talking about some, the story started back at 10 o'clock in the morning. Like,
Okay. Let me
I
tell
was
you my
like,
side of the
I
story.
know.
I went to the grocery store. You didn't ask. You didn't tell me what your list was, so I came back with what it was, and then I went back to the store, and you still didn't acknowledge. I didn't get a thank you. You didn't
I
give me my
know.
$5. You also did not walk back in his house with flowers. And then when I said, "Hey, I need some flowers," you said, "No, I'm not gonna go get the flowers because I don't want to be late." And now you're talking about, so we need some bandana. Like it was like, girl,
I know. And
let's
then
be
she kept
honest
saying,
for real.
right. acting like she wasn't. And then she's like, and I was done with that because I wouldn't be walking in there holding my hand with you if
Yes.
I wasn't done. Then why the story starting back there? Why
Right.
the story starting
Right.
back at the
Right.
beginning of the
Right.
fucking day if
Right.
you
And
was
why is
done with it?
everything I would not, I'm not this type of girl. I'm not this, but you keep doing everything you saying you not, baby. You doing
Yeah,
everything you saying and you not.
it's
And if you don't want to be that person, this clearly isn't the person for you.
right,
But you keep
right.
talking about something. This gives me hope. This is the man I fell in love with. This
It's
is a
like you,
moment. This is a moment. Look at all of the data you have. This is a
right.
moment, baby.
You can't pick a guy who is nothing like what you want and then complain about the fact that he is nothing like what you want. You get what I'm saying? You cannot do that.
And even
I do
friends.
not have the sympathy for this. Yeah, even friends. But I do not have the sympathy for her in that moment. I just don't. Because
Yeah.
I get, like, I couldn't be with Evan. He seems like a great guy, but I couldn't be with him. So I'm not saying that the frustration isn't real, but I'm saying
Yeah.
that you have to take ownership of the fact that you chose him because he wouldn't have made it through the wall with me personally.
Okay.
I would have been like, seems really cool, got a lot going on. We could be homies, but I cannot. That's not what I need in a partner. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so she got to take ownership of the fact that she chose him. You keep
Yes.
complaining, and she's saying they're valid arguments, yes, but it is not valid when you purposely chose this person and you keep
Yeah.
walking forward in despite of all the evidence. So I have a bone. I mean not bone big, but I'm not feeling her continuously berating him when it's like we all see that you the one gonna have to adjust in this if you're gonna be with him.
Yes.
It is you either say no, this ain't for me, or you
Yeah.
adjust and accept where he is. Like it's just annoying, like to me personally, because it feels like at a certain point it feels like she's taking advantage of the fact that she knows that he like is emotionally connected to her, but he don't know how to process and he don't know how to come back. She can like one up him, she can chump him. Because the fact that
Mm-hmm.
she called him a bitch and
Yeah, that
she
was
didn't get
crazy.
girl, bye. I'm out
Yeah,
of here.
didn't
Like,
even want to immediately say, I'm so sorry.
yeah,
Like,
she
I'm
didn't even say
actually, she
sorry.
blamed it on him. She was like, you bring me out of
Me
my
to this,
character. I'm like,
yes,
no, you are just exposing your character. He's
yes,
not
this
bringing
is,
you out of anything, baby. This is you. People have to realize if a situation you can't control your triggers, you can't emotionally regulate, then baby,
that's
you
you.
need to first of all get yourself out the situation, but
Yeah,
also to recognize that this was within you. This wasn't
yeah,
within him. It's not
yeah,
anything in him like digging deep in you, baby, because he
yeah.
was sitting there actually quite mute. He had
Yes,
nothing
he
to say.
was.
So
And it's just I cannot with her. And one of the things I will say with the two of them is that like they're the toxicity for me is that they're not at the level one of toxicity. They're at level two where it still exists, but they talk about it when they come to these healing conversations. They talk
yeah,
about like I shouldn't have done this and I shouldn't have done that, but they still do the toxic ass shit. They can sound and intellectualize like what it is that they should and shouldn't be doing in the after conversation, but the toxic shit is still all up in there because I think of her as emotionally abusive personally, like in how she or manipulative, not emotionally abusive, emotionally manipulative or some there's something about how she recognizes, she sees that man that he is not, he's like her friend said, he's different.
yeah.
He's unique and he's
That's my
different.
man. That's my man. That's my
Yes,
man.
it's
You
like
hyping him
no.
up in any other moment, but as soon as he in front of you, and then she brought up also too. I do want to get to the fact that she brought up the difference in how he acts on camera
Oh yeah, she
versus
did
on
say that. I
camera,
wonder
and
what
I'm
that's
like,
about.
have you possibly thought about maybe he's coming differently on camera because he does not want to get berated because he's getting berated off camera? Or maybe he's masking a little bit because he does not want to get portrayed in a certain way or he's scared of what could come. Like, is any of that coming to mind at all?
Yeah. I don't know what he's acting like. I won't put nothing past him, to be honest. I don't know. He seems like a
Yeah.
nice enough guy, but I have no clue. But I do know that the signs are motherfucking there. So you can't keep complaining like that you running off the
Yeah.
cliff when the sign that the road is ending, the road is ending. It was 2 miles ago and it keeps
Yeah.
popping up. So I have no sympathy. I have no
Yeah,
sympathy here
yeah,
for
yeah. And I
Calabria. I
want to
just
know
don't.
why. I want to know why. I want to know why he said I don't want to talk to you in the car. When he said that, I said we need to see if we can get Edmond on because I want to know what happened.
I ain't got time. I ain't got time. Evan probably be like, no, I don't got
No.
time to talk to these girls. But either way, it's just, it is a lot. I hate to say it, but she got me on Edmund's side and all of this because it's like, I don't think that he can help how he's showing up in certain ways. I do think that there's like
Yeah.
a level of like growth. Yeah, like, but I just don't think that he's maliciously and purposely trying to do anything to her. I just
Right.
think that's where his level of maturity, emotional maturity, or whatever, I think it's there at that moment. And I think for her, though, she sees it and she's supposed to be trained. She's a social worker. So you should be more than anybody not being taken out of your character. You get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
professionally, that's you've been trained not to do it. You should be the perfect companion for him. And so it kind of irks me even more that she is
Yeah.
a social worker and she's
Yeah.
acting like this with him.
Yeah, and I
It's
don't like the exhaustion comments. She's exhausted with him, and like
because
she has the patience of a this and a that, and I'm like, this isn't patience, y'all. This
it's
is
not.
this is not patience because she blows up at him every single time. That's actually the opposite of
Yeah.
patience. She is. I don't know. I literally had the thought like, is she in this to like get the brand deals? Like, is there another motive for her
She
potentially
doesn't give me
after
a
she
brand
saw?
deal girly, but I don't know, you know?
Yeah, but I'm saying, is there any opportunities that she's feeling like she could potentially get with, more screen time, despite the like now that I'm not saying that that was like her intentions coming in, but it's like now that she knows, like, okay, potentially Edmund is not the man for me. Is there some other things that she thought she was gonna get out of this experience potentially?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I know
Yeah,
that if Evan was my brother or my cousin or whatever the case may be, I'd be like, I need you to leave for
yeah,
your own emotional well being. You know what I'm saying? I need you to leave. And then
yeah.
if she was my sister or whoever, friend, I'd be like, girl,
You need to leave for your
you need
emotional
something
well
different
being.
than what yeah, you
Yes.
need something different than what this man is offering. They
Yeah.
don't need to be together. So
Yeah.
I look.
There's a lot of people out here, like I said, I see the comments when people are like, oh my God, like she has the patience of a saint, or poor Calabria this, poor Calabria that. But it's like some people honestly just don't understand how mental health operates and how extensive functioning is, right? Like there is
Yeah.
a large scale, and like people just don't understand like the decline, I think, that can happen in your functioning because of different
Mm,
experiences and different things going on. And I think this is that everybody's
mm,
championing KB in these moments. And I'm not saying she's not somebody to get
yeah, I
behind at all,
don't.
but I am like her again having the basic understanding of mental health, her being exposed to so many
Mm,
different types of backgrounds, and
mm.
her showing up in this way and expecting Edmund
It,
to show up in a certain way. It's like you said, like it's not to change your standard. You're allowed to have your standards.
yeah.
Don't lower your standards for nobody, but the expectations.
It's like for
Oh,
me, the issue with her is the she picked him. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's like she's not helpless in this. I
yeah,
do not feel like anybody should be championing like, oh, because sometimes you lose the plot sometimes when you get too deep into the male bashingness of it all. Because I'll
yeah,
bash a man. You get what I'm saying? I'll bash if he deserve it. And personally, if I felt like Edmund had the capacity to shift his behavior, that I would have more to say about him and how he's
yeah,
showing up. I personally don't think he has the capacity for that. And that isn't taking anything away from him as a human being. We all have our struggles. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody who's
yeah,
sitting around here who don't have the capacity to say no to their family member who's milking them dry. You get what I'm saying? There's somebody who
yeah,
don't have the capacity to say no to their boyfriend, who's maybe being abusive, whatever. Like we all don't have the capacity to do something and we find it to be a struggle. This is just to me, his struggle is this emotional processing or whatever's going on with him, right?
yeah,
Processing the trauma, whatever it is. But it's like it's clear as day. It's clear as
yeah,
day. And she sees that. So you don't get no attaboy from me about what it is that you're putting up with and the things that how you want him to rise to this level and this
mm-hmm,
standard when it's like that's not what he is. Go pick
yeah,
you a man who does that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like I just
yeah,
don't I just I it gets to me like it feels like manipulative or like it doesn't feel right. Something
yeah.
doesn't feel
No,
right
I do
about
hear
it
you.
with
I do
her.
hear you. And because she does not, I don't want to say this, but I'm just going to say it. She does not have respect for Edmund. Because if
Yeah,
she
she
did have
doesn't.
respect for Edmund, she would not talk to him the way that she does. And
Yeah.
I've been in relationships where I don't respect the man in front of me. I get to that point where I'm like, oh, you're actually a fucking loser. Like, don't like you. And now the things that are coming out of my mouth might cut a little bit
Mhm.
deeper
Mhm.
because I do not have respect for you as a man, and so things can feel emasculating to that person. Not even feel,
Mhm.
they are
Mhm.
emasculating
Mhm.
to that
Mhm.
person on the other side of that conversation.
Mhm.
And I feel like that is how KB is showing up. She does not have
Mhm.
respect for Edmond.
Mhm.
She sees Edmond as a child, something to fix,
Mhm.
something to mold. Which I
Mhm.
actually listened to her interview she had with
With
AD.
AD.
I didn't
Mhm.
listen to it all. I heard enough in about the first couple of moments when she said, one, that the trauma dump story that we saw about Edmond talking about his past was the first
Mhm.
date, first 10 minutes,
Mhm. Mhm.
immediately drawn in. Red flag number
Yeah.
one for
Yeah.
KB. Like, this should not have been. There's levels to
Mhm.
conversation. I understand that this is a very expressed process, but
Mhm.
also too, there were other things where he was not being 100% upfront and honest about when it came to who else he was talking to. I'm like, so you
Mhm.
had signs there that possibly the emotional processing just
Mhm.
was not there.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
two, she said that she has a tendency to fix. She has a tendency to step into the social worker role with people. And so you
Mhm.
knew this about you, and
And
now
what are
you
you doing
blaming
to
it on
work on
him
it?
for how you
Yeah.
showing up. And it's like, baby,
Yeah.
you chose this route from the
Yeah.
very
Yeah. And
beginning.
I don't like that statement. I mean, I don't look. I just it's something about how this is going down that I do not like about it. But it is what it
Yeah.
is. And I also think there are very few voices that are saying anything about Edmund because of how Edmund showed up. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's like you got to look at this in the context of what it is. Like something ain't right
Yeah.
here. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something's not right. So let's not sit here and try to proceed as if everything is like she see what it is. She
Yeah.
see what it is. And if you
Yeah.
see what it is and you keep moving
Mm-hmm.
forward, acting like it's not what it is,
Yeah.
girl, I have no sympathy for you, one. And two, you do not get an attaboy from me for
Yeah.
chastising him and reading this man like he wasn't who you saw him to be. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like let's say if it had been, like even Ali and AD, he diagnosed with ADHD. You get what I'm saying? But when AD was in Perfect Match and she was like da 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 da, it's like Ali, you have the capacity. You may have like some emotional whatever going on, and you have your, but he has the capacity to
Mhm.
understand that what you're doing right here with this whole Justine, sorry for those who didn't watch Perfect Match, but what you're doing is there's something emotionally not uh where it needs to be. You have the
Yeah.
capacity to correct your behavior. You have the capacity, and you had the intention to do a little, like let me see how this is. Like you had the intention with all of that. Like I don't see the intention in Edmund to be in any kind of way malicious. You get what I'm saying? So, and not that Ali was, but I don't see the intention there, and then I also don't even see the capacity. So, like, you read a man to filth, yes, when he it has the capacity to understand what it is you're talking about, and he has the
Yeah.
capacity to adjust his behavior when it's just like you read yourself to filth when it's not that. You know what I'm saying? You need to read
Yeah.
yourself like, why am I picking him? Why am I not having better standards for myself? Why am I not? You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be all that energy she got for him, have it for yourself. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like
And I
people be
mean,
just,
even
look,
Edmund
girl.
said when he said, say something nice, he also said, remember why you fell in love with me, baby? I was like, yeah, he's telling you. Remember that trauma story that she was like, oh, your sister, baby, when you already knew. He like, baby, you know who I am. You know. Like, let's
Yeah.
not play around here. Let's not play. Like, so
Yeah. I don't know.
yeah.
They did look cute
Yeah.
skating though, but that's all.
They did. That was very cute. I was like, she been practicing. They look like they
I
having
know she
fun.
looked
So
like
that was good.
cause I skate, I cannot rollerblade. I be like, ugh, like a
Yeah.
lamb on them doggone things. But I'm
Rollerblading
like,
is actually easier than skating.
oh, for sure. Like, because that balancing piece of it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember one time I tried to go ice skating. That's even worse. I said, oh
No, that's
no.
why it's easier. Rollerblading and ice skating is easier than
Oh,
roller
you're
skating
saying
because your center
those.
of gravity is right in the center. When you have the quad skates, I'm telling you, the roller skates is like
I'm
you
telling
can.
you, okay?
I'm
I'm telling you. Okay.
telling
Okay.
you, I'm
I'll take the
telling you.
4 wheels on the rollerblades more than those, what are they called?
Rollerblades.
Oh, and the roller skates. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Don't let
yeah.
me
You
confuse
the
people.
quads are the roller skates.
I
The
need all.
the
I
the
need a
inline
quad.
is
Yes, I know inline for me.
uh,
That I couldn't even. I went ice skating one time and I could not even. Just
yeah,
like
probably because you
I was
thought
on
they
the floor.
were
You said
roller
what?
skates. Probably because you were all of them like they were roller skates because that's what you're used to. But learning how to skate on rollerblades and ice skates is easier. She ain't got to worry
Okay,
about
we
your center of
respectfully
gravity as much.
disagree. Anywho,
But
get
anywho,
to Megan and
well,
Jordan. They
it's
were
this.
surprising me this episode. Like,
Yeah,
it's giving this might actually be a problem. Like, cause
yes,
I'm a girl who likes to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to have some intellectually stimulating conversation. I done left a man because of some shit like that, and so I felt her, and so I'm like, I thought this was there, y'all. Why y'all telling me this last minute that this is not there? I thought the intellectually stimulating conversation. I mean, she didn't say intellectually stimulating. She just said some conversation. It sounds like
yeah,
they're doing a lot of silent moments and
yeah.
I can't tell because on one side I'd be like I'm with her, then the other side I'm with him because it's like he probably has a more physically demanding job, so he's probably more tired. I have no clue. I just need to be I need to observe them for 24 hours, then I can make a assessment.
Yeah, well, I was not actually feeling Megan on this
Really.
one. I was with Jordan. I was with Jordan. And I was with Jordan because as Jordan was speaking, she was
Hmm.
bringing up this lifestyle thing that she wants. And Jordan is
Hmm.
like, baby, over here, it's a different type of life. I go to work 10 hours a day. I'm up in
Hmm.
in faces talking to people. And
Hmm.
there's a book that I read. It's called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And one of the things in that book, it talks about how men be needing detachment time when they get off of work. They like really,
Hmm.
really need
Hmm.
time to just like reset for
Hmm.
a second. And it
Hmm.
doesn't seem like he's trying to be like that all night, but it ends up being all night if you gonna come up to me and low key nag me about not talking to you. Now we're in
Hmm.
silence all night because you didn't give me my silence for just a moment. Now, has Jordan actually said, like, I need a moment? Like, just give me about 30 minutes when I get home from work. Like, got to get Lucas situated or whatever. I don't know. But he literally said, like, it's not going to be like that all the time. But I have a different type of job. I don't want to come home and immediately, like, just start talking about how Billy Bob, said X, Y, and Z to me. I want to just, like, relax. And here she go. I mean, like, I work really hard for myself so that I can have this life. And, sometimes I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And like, we need to have our time together. It's like not the time to be trying to low key throw in my face that you have a different type of lifestyle. Like,
Yeah, I
that
mean,
ain't
I
me.
part of it so it's hard to tell. That's why I said it's hard to tell. But like the sitting in silence is like I mean, I will sit in silence when there's silence. But if she's saying like there's too much silence, there's not enough conversation
Yeah.
going on for my liking, then that's a real thing. Like that's a real thing. Like you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I'm a chatty Cathy, so like anybody who with me got to be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're gonna
Yeah.
be like, oh my gosh, she just want, it's like you're not gonna like being with me. And so if
Right.
that's who she is, and she's like, I gotta be talking, I gotta be chit chatting. Now, Megan does seem to like get overly excited about like issues, right? Like even
Yeah.
like meeting Luca, meeting Luca's mom. It's like she does seem to bring these things at a level like not I don't want to say 10 because Madison was a 10, but she does bring
Yeah.
like at a level 6 or 7 where it's like these are things that it doesn't seem like I would be that emotional about, and Jordan has taken the time to kind of calm her down. So I was like, okay, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. So I can't tell if this is just her being like, are we had moments of silence yesterday, are we gonna talk? And then he's just like, that's just one day. I was tired or whatever. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I gotta
Yeah.
see them a little bit more, and so it's hard to tell because I do think that every issue thus far that she's brought up, I've always felt like, ah, this is no issue, girl. It's no issue. Y'all gonna be fine. But this is one I feel like I can see it. I can see it. And I also wonder how much of him is going inward because he's being met with her money and her lifestyle more and more and more, and
Yeah.
if he's just processing, if some of the silence is him processing, like, how do I, like, getting just adjusting to being not the breadwinner in a situation like this? I don't know. And so if
Yeah.
that's what's going on, I do think he needs to like try to figure that out and maybe because some of it, I couldn't tell all of what they was arguing about. I mean, because it's like some of it felt like it was the money was in there too,
Yeah.
because I don't know, but this is the first time I saw real like this could possibly be a crack with them.
Yeah.
Outside of this, I felt like, oh, they're gonna be our couple who makes it, but like now I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're
So,
going to make it. He's very gung ho
really,
on. Yeah, I mean, he said he doesn't want a nanny. He wants to be there to raise his kids. And she's talking about sometimes I'm in Cabo. Sometimes I like to go play golf. And sometimes I like to go get my spa treatments. Like, I've structured my life this way. He not feeling that. He wants a family at home.
yeah, but then she also said she was a traditional woman and she desires to
Yeah,
do
she
those
said she a
things as
traditional woman and
well.
is sitting there asking a man's family for their hand in marriage, for their
She did. Yeah,
blessings.
that was funny.
So
His
I
family was
was
kind of
like,
funny.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
not
She
they're
a
not super.
traditional
My mom was
woman, but
like,
she jumping up to pay for everything. Yeah, like it's given. She needs to calm some of that energy down a little bit.
really interesting.
It's giving she's not. I don't think she has enough space to give Jordan to lead because he does not have that lifestyle. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? And it's not
I mean,
wrong for her to have her
mm,
desires and the things that she's like. She's right. She's worked really hard for them, but again, you have to meet Jordan where he is at. And he said, I like that he did say this episode, like, this is not where I want to be forever, but like for right now, I have a very demanding job. And when I come home, I'm tired sometimes. Like, and
yeah,
I just want to chill. So I just don't
yeah,
think that was the right time to bring up why that does not fit
fit
her
which, yeah,
lifestyle, because it wasn't when he said, like, I just want some compassion. Like, you're not meeting him with compassion, you're not meeting him with
yeah.
understanding, you're meeting him with just your needs, and you're not taking his into consideration at all.
Yeah, no, I could see, and I also could see like whatever he was very serious about
Yeah,
whatever they had been
he was
arguing about.
emotional.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I was like, dang, this is real. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure what's gonna happen with them. I know you say you
Yeah.
don't feel like they will be together. But I don't know. I don't know. Like you saw the mom when she brought up the chicken smoothie, she said, you're still doing that?
Yes, yes,
Like
we've
you're
been doing it
still
way
doing
too long.
that. She was like, Jesus, like,
His dad
but
was really funny too. I was like, okay, I see that he gets the personality from,
yeah,
well, both of his
yeah, from
parents
both
are
of them because the mom
very,
was like, we don't need the details. We didn't
yeah.
talk about the kids. So I
Yeah,
was
so
like,
that
yeah,
was nice.
there's a cool family. I don't know. I mean, I hope that they make it because they seem like out of anybody in this cast, they seem to be like the most suited and matched. But I'm
Yeah.
like, if she doesn't get with him because like wherever all this other stuff, I was like, maybe girl, maybe you should have just been with Mike,
Yeah.
because it's like, do you know yourself? Because I think she has to
Yeah.
adjust and stretch a little bit, like you said, like to accept where he is, given who she chose. But I
Right.
think she's trying to like proceed on with her life plan, just be like, come along for the ride. But it's like that's not his life plan as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, not
so
even that,
it's like
right?
it's that
His is just
compromise part
different.
again
Yeah,
that we
he
talked
already has a
about.
kid in his life. He already, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's other
Mhm.
factors, and he has a kid with a diagnosis, and he's like, there's other factors where it's like not
Mhm.
gonna just be a pick up and go. We're always on the go lifestyle that she has. And I mean, some people feel like a lot of things are possible before they have kids and things like that, and then they realize like, okay, this is hard.
But
But once
also,
he
I
said
think
he didn't want no nannies, I said, "Oh, baby, it's definitely a wrap." It's a wrap because she's giving. We're gonna have nannies at the house. There ain't nothing wrong with nannies. I think some people think that if you have nannies, then you're not raising your kids, and that's not
Hmm.
necessarily the case.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't think there's gonna. I don't think there's a match. They were the only couple that I was thinking like was
there
gonna
would
be
be a
able to make
match.
it, but
Yeah.
I think um Jordan is likely to say no. I'm not exactly sure where Megan is, but I
Hmm.
do think Jordan is a no
That's
after this
interesting.
this last episode.
That's interesting. But I feel like that would be very unfortunate because I do feel like there has to be a level of, on his part, coming to terms just the same way she got to come to terms with the fact that this man don't make no money and she got to accept that shit. He gonna have to come to terms with the fact that she makes more money. You got to
Yeah,
figure out what that is for you. You got to figure out and accept that, and still find a way to have your ego. I mean, not your ego, but and have your manhood. That's what I'm supposed to
yeah,
say. Have your manhood. Which is which? I
yeah,
don't know. Are they
yeah.
synonymous?
Right,
Like,
right, right.
but
They
I'm
be
just
synonymous
joking.
over around
Have
here,
your manhood.
baby.
Yeah, like have your manhood, and check your ego. Have your manhood and exist with this woman who makes more money. You get what I'm saying? Because it can't
Yeah,
be that being a provider is manhood. I mean, in terms
yeah,
of like a financial provider, that's what I would say. It cannot be that that's manhood. It just cannot be.
yeah,
Like it just can't be that. And if your definition is that uh rigid, then is you gonna crack, you gonna break, and this is not gonna be. So I don't know. I think it's there's a little bit of both of them in this. I'm still rooting for them. I still think that they could adjust because like even with the like traveling thing you were talking about the kids, that's what I was about to say earlier, is that like it takes two people's mindsets to be the same. And
yeah,
I don't know if that their mindsets are going to be the same, but there are people who travel with kids and they just pick up and go. They literally
yeah.
do that. And other people would
Yeah,
be
he
like,
called it hell. He
"What?"
said traveling to Italy with a 5 year old it would be
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's very
Mhm.
real. Look, I don't know what's gonna happen with them. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
most excited to see what happens with them because
yeah,
I do feel like there's a lot of potential that they could go or they could not. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But
this
yeah,
wedding episode finna be real quick. That's why we had to get an extra episode
I
because it was like they only got
know.
two weddings.
Yeah.
Which
Well, they
real
have
quick before
three.
we oh
Anton and Allie. We about to get to them.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Before we I know we already done with KB and Edmund, but that's
Not you
another thing,
circling
girl. Why
back.
in the world is you going to why are you walking down the aisle knowing what you know? And another
Yeah.
thing we need to bring up was she was counting when he was apologizing. Oh, that sent me through the
Oh,
roof.
that's what I said.
That sent me through the roof.
It's just I said she treats him like a child. It's like I
As
can't get with nobody treating no person, no adult as a child. It's like if you feel like you got to do that, they're not the one for you. You get what I'm
yes.
saying? Like all this, like she take mother and men to a whole new level. Like that's not even like
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. Like we do that as women a lot, mother men, but this is on some this is a whole different level, like
Yeah.
what, like a whole different level, like mother and man, meaning like just like little things they not doing, you picking up the slack or you reminding them or you
Yeah.
this you like look,
Yeah.
she doing it all, you get what I'm saying, and she
Yeah.
want she want I just look, I can't
Yeah.
look.
All right, let's go to Allie and Anton.
I'm like I cannot give you a attaboy, like not
uh,
when you choosing this.
okay.
It's
Alrighty.
like let me just say
Allie
this
and
one last
okay.
thing. It's like you being like, look, I can withstand hell. I'm in hell. And it's like the door is right there. Like, why are you
yes.
choosing to sit in hell? Walk out that room, go somewhere else. And it's like you want to get some sort of accolades for that you're withstanding the hell that you chose to be in. It's like I don't
Yeah.
and it's like it's different. It's very different. I want to say this. It's very different from because everybody in some level chooses their partner, right? It's very different though from being with someone who didn't show you any signs of those things. That's what when the women get my sympathy. That's when somebody
Yeah.
would get my sympathy is that this person didn't show any signs of certain things or there were smaller signs that aren't necessarily like glaring red flags. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like and then you realize like, "Oh, that little thing was a big thing. It's like
Yeah.
these are glaring signs. Like there's no one who watches Edmund is unclear about what's happening with him. You may
Yeah.
have different levels of whether you feel like he has the capacity or not, but you see that there's something there. You get what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah.
does, even his friend. And
Yeah.
we didn't even talk about the friends. Maybe we'll talk about the dress fittings and the tux stuff all together.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
All right, let's go on to Allie and Anton. Now, from the preview, I was like, all right, Allie, you look like you're on his neck a little bit. But when they said 12 packs of beer gone, 12 packs of this gone, half a
tequila.
bottle of tequila, I was like, okay, maybe this man do have a drinking problem. And for those who don't know, 7 drinks a week for a woman, I think it might be 10 to 12 for a man a week. If you go over that, you are in the range of being more at risk for heart disease. And we
Wow.
get into conversations about like alcohol abuse and, because that is just like a slippery
Mm-hmm.
slope to keep adding on and adding on and adding on, fatty liver, all the things. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're drinking more than that, you might want to calm down. You might want to chill it out.
Yeah, no,
You
that's
might
a
want to chill
lot.
it out. And she's a
Um,
nurse, so she probably like, baby, we not doing this.
yeah,
We're not doing this.
yeah, yeah. I feel her on it. Like that would
Mm.
cause a that would be alarming for me, with someone, and also it would beg the question like, what are you trying to escape from?
Yeah,
Because I feel like alcohol, weed, are escapism type of drugs, like
yeah,
or substances, And I feel like if you occasionally dibble and dabble in them, cool. Maybe you're not doing escape, you're just having fun.
yeah,
But when it's this routine, you're
yeah.
escaping something, and that
Yeah.
needs to be dealt with because otherwise, this is your coping mechanism. You're gonna
Mhm.
either choose this unhealthy route to continue to cope with them, or when you try to stop because you need to, all the emotional piece of it is going to hit you. So deal with it now. Like, what is it? And I wonder what it is with Anton, because he doesn't seem to talk that much about his feelings or
Yeah.
things. But I did, I'm about to say, I did like his friend, the one who was like, you need to stop with the pep talk. He's like, you need to stop worrying about what she's gonna say, whether she's gonna say yes. If she's
Oh
for you, she
yeah.
is for you. I was like, go ahead, friend. Because
Yeah.
that's what all of us need to be like. Everybody, like when you out here worrying whether somebody gonna say yes or whether they choose you or not, it's like that should be the one thing you need to be sure about with your person is that
Yeah.
they are here for you. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't got that, then you ain't got it. It's nothing about you. That's just not your person. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I was surprised that he was so worried about whether she would choose him. But I think sometimes when guys who are like average looking, because he a little average looking, get with a woman who's very good looking, they get a little like a little loopy in the head. Like they get a little,
Yeah.
thrown off a little bit. And so maybe that's what it is going on for him, is
Yeah.
just that a temporary, like, oh my God, I don't want to lose her type of thing. But it's like, if she's for you, she'll
She'll be
want
for
you
you.
back. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that he didn't have the friend who third party drinks a lot at the dress fit, and I said, baby, you ain't gonna bring somebody who not marriage minded with you. You're not gonna
I
bring
know.
somebody who can't root for you, and
Yeah.
you being married with you. So I was just wondering what happened for him to have been the best friend that did
Mm,
not make the fitting. If he's
yeah.
also not at the bachelor party, I'm
No, he
gonna be
gonna be at
like,
that
oh,
bachelor party.
Allie
That's the
was
party
probably
he
like,
gonna be at.
baby, this friend ain't your friend.
He probably gonna be there. He probably self declined. Was like, watching you put on the sex,
Right.
I'll be good. I mean, throw me an invite to the bachelor party because that man
Yeah.
seemed like he party. But on Allie's side, I was surprised that like she brought a friend who had only been there less than a year. I'm like, she'd only known less than a
Yeah.
year. I'm like, I know
I
it's
did think that was interesting. And she has some
yeah,
issues, it looks like, with the sister. I was like, did she have like
yeah,
relationship challenges with
yeah,
people? Like, what's up with that? I also was
yeah.
like, okay, she's only been in Denver. Seemed like she was a travel nurse before that. She
Yeah,
works
but I'm
overnight.
girl. If I don't get married, my friends better be like I got some good friends that will travel. If not,
Yeah.
my sister.
Yeah. 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 Very
But
true.
I guess
Very
she's having
true.
her issues with her sister, whatever. But But either way, I don't know.
Yeah, child, who knows? I mean, maybe her friends will be at the wedding.
Wedding, yeah, maybe they
And they
just
couldn't
weren't
make it
available.
for it
They
is all I was
couldn't.
like, it is all last minute.
Yeah. But back to the drinking conversation, I did want to say it felt like one thing I noticed about the conversation was that Allie was not being forthcoming with it. She just kept, and how many this, and how many
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and how
yeah.
many this, and wasn't there this? Like,
Yeah.
girl,
Say it's an
I
issue.
I know.
Say
I
it's a
think
concern.
you drink a little bit much for me. Like, because that's what
Yeah.
it is. It's like,
Right.
because it's like you drink a little bit much for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is it? Like, talk about it. Like, is there something going? Is there, what, what is it? And then Anton, when he was like, I can stop for,
A
I
week or
can not.
two.
Yeah,
Ooh, cause
I
ooh,
was
big
like,
big popping, big popping. I was
no.
like, boy, that ain't
And
nothing to
that's
me.
what the addicts do. They can stop for a little bit of time, and they think
Yeah,
they think that because they can stop. I'm not saying you're an
yeah,
addict, but I'm just saying that's
yeah.
just very
But
typical.
because he gave, and also too, like you gave such a short time period. Let's go for
I
6 months. Let's go for 6 months. Let's
yeah,
take a real
yeah,
cleanse. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
no,
that yeah.
that coming home and drinking every day, especially when you work an overnight shift, I'm like,
Mm.
whew, that's a lot.
And
Like it's
and
already unhealthy structure
yeah.
to your life, and you're adding additional
Yeah.
unhealthy habits to it.
Yeah.
It shows that you are not aware or conscious of your health. And I
Yeah.
think that as somebody, late 20s, early 30s, into your like at that age where you're trying to be married and having kids,
Mm.
that needs. I know that for me, that's a deal breaker. You need to be conscious and aware of your health.
Mm.
I don't need nobody
Yeah.
croaking out on me early because they want to still have the time of their life and
Yeah.
act like their body don't have a clock. Like we're not
Yeah.
doing that. We're not doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder though, like now that I think about it, is like maybe what's stressful because he does come home from work and do it, right? So maybe this job is stressful, you know what I mean? And there's something to think about like with like trying to find a different line of work or whatever because like that is like I can see like I'm trying to think back to like the time period of my life where I used to like I was so busy and I was so stressed and stuff like that that like I was like wine is my thing and I had me a little Kroger wine. I was like it was a white I think it was a white Riesling or something. I don't remember. And I used to come home and I'd be like, ooh, my little wine. And I used to love it. Then I was like, is this alcoholism? Is this too much? And like, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't like a every night thing, it never became a problem because I've been mostly always health conscious. But I remember thinking like, noticing like, this is a stress reliever from like being at work and then when we used to work with the girls it was around that time like coming home working with the girls you know what I mean like it was a very stressful impact time for me and so I can understand that the job could be like part of it. It may not
Hmm.
be something deeper emotional. It could be just
It could
literally
be, but
the
it's
job.
like you're doing that, and then you also go out with your friends who seem like they're gonna encourage you to drink and drink and drink and
Hmm.
drink and drink.
Hmm. Yeah, now that
Um,
party lifestyle, that is an
you know what I'm
interesting
saying? Like
thing. Yeah.
that sounds like a lot of consumption.
Drinking.
You
Yeah.
know, and it's like one thing if you
Yeah.
just do it socially or you just do it at home, and now you're doing both. It's kind of like I mean, it's still drinking every day. It's just it's not healthy for anybody. Like
Mm.
alcohol disrupts your sleep. It can be
Yeah.
a stressor. It's a depressant.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's
so
a
many things
poison.
with alcohol. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So it's like that on top of having a stressful job. It's likely not
Hmm.
doing exactly what you think. It might be knocking
Hmm.
you out, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
definitely not helping you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I do think though in that moment, Ali was having one of those. I think I said this earlier, like, "Oh, my man is a loser" type of vibe. Like she was the way she was responding to him, like, "Okay," and like, "Is the tequila still in there?" It was given
Yeah.
like, "You're giving me the ick. You are
Yeah,
giving
no.
me the ick, a hundred
Yeah.
and 10%." So I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna end up
Yeah.
working out. I don't know.
Same. I don't have
I don't know.
the only couple that I think could, or I would say
Megan
is
and Jordan.
Megan and Jordan, but I honestly still kind of think Kalybriah and Edmond. I don't know because they just keep. They're like they are
Child,
delusional.
I don't even want to
They
think about
just
that.
keep
I don't
going
even want.
past the point of recognizing that they don't need to be, and that they
Child.
keep going and going and going.
He did have
So,
KB in that prayer when he prayed
but
before
he
right
also is
before
a very
everything dropped.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
look.
We'll see. We'll see. I will
Um,
say too, though, they're both of their jobs, Ali and Anton, both of them working overnight.
yeah,
I think it's not a setup for a healthy
yeah.
relationship,
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever. And getting used to it seems like with her being a nurse, I'm pretty sure like her shifts change. Like she might not look at this like, oh, I'm always overnight, but his seems like it's like an overnight thing, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe he has like adapted to that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's literally like a risk factor for heart
Yeah.
disease, death,
Mm-hmm.
all types of things.
Yeah.
So I feel like at least one of them needs to get out of that overnight
But
system
then
for this
they're not gonna be able to work
to work.
like together. Like they who imagine being in a
Yeah,
relationship
but
with
I'm
a
saying
man.
if at least one is out, then there's a capacity to help the other one possibly get out and like take off some of that load. But they both come home
Uh,
stressed out, irritable, can't
mhm.
communicate, head foggy, blood
Yeah. I mean, I think
eyes
that's
red. It's probably not the best, but yeah. What else did you have for them?
just the mom visit, like the fact that like Allie after she went to her after she saw the mom and she was just like, it kind of turned her around a little bit on him,
Yeah, I think
seeing the
so.
mom. And I think that like that's part of like what like I said, some of the things that my mom has shared with me about like community being such an important part of like her and my dad's relationship, like their his mother, her mother, aunts and uncles, that community that can help you to remember what you're building and who you're building it with, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's an extension of this family. And so I think that that helps to reinforce like, let's be in this and let's, move forward or whatever. And so I thought that was nice. I was like, not them, neither of them cook out here making ham and cheese sandwiches for the mom on croissants. And Anton.
But her mama was like, "No, you need to be cooking. You need to be washing them dishes. You need to be." She's like,
I know
"No,
he was
we
like,
think
I like
differently.
this.
Yeah, we
Like
think differently."
I'm like,
But
don't
it
say
is
this
nice when
now
you can
when you.
like. Oh, go ahead.
I about to say to the mama, don't say this now when you ain't instill this in your daughter because like I'd be like, if that's my mom and like you ain't taught me to cook and clean when I was living with you, you was cooking and cleaning after me.
For
Don't
me, yes.
sit here and try to be brand new in front of my man. Like this is who you
No,
raised. You raised
literally.
a non-cooking and clean, but still got that ring ass woman. So don't
Okay.
don't switch up, girl. This is what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
raised.
yeah. Yeah, I know she was happy though when he was like, "You going out with your friends?" No, she was eating that ass. So yes, yes, but yeah, no, that's real.
I don't really have anything else. They didn't show the dresses that much, I feel like. So it's really don't have a lot of dresses for us to talk about. I don't feel like nobody's dressed it out.
Yeah,
Megan's were nice,
yeah.
but I think it's just also she has a nice silhouette. Except they keep talking about this butt. I don't see the butt that she got work done
Child,
for.
different standards, different worldviews, different standards.
Yeah.
Because
But
baby, let
anywho,
them tell her she got a BBL back
I
there,
know. I was
okay?
like, they keep mentioning this butt, and I'm like, it's kind of like with J Lo. Like they used to always talk about J Lo's butt. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I didn't see the butt that
Child.
much. I
And
don't
every single
know.
time she do that little 50-year-old wiggle, I'm like, girl,
Oh, you talking about Megan or you talking about J Lo? You talking about Megan,
Megan.
right? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they've been eating her up in the comments, and it's like she is that definition of the old ass. Like why your old ass got on them young clothes?
Yes.
Like she's the definition of that. But anyway, if y'all don't get that joke, go back to our last
Ah,
episode. Anyway,
right.
all right, so I don't have anything else.
Yes,
You?
that is it. Nope. We'll see you for these weddings next week, child.
Mm,
Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that subscribe button and that hype button and share
yeah,
it with a
that's what's
friend.
up. All right,
Bye.
bye.